Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So gardens can be one of the most ideal places to recycle and reuse things that otherwise would normally be thrown away. Now look at my small garden. Pretty much everything in here is made from recycled materials. Now if I look at my flower container here, these are all 2x4s that I just found lying around, and that's been turned into a planter. The containers that I'm using for most of my vegetables here, these are all totes from warehouses. So things that have been thrown away from warehouses that are slightly damaged, but they're perfect to be used here and reused and make perfect growing beds. And the biggest growing bed that I've got in here is my bathtub. I mean, this was my own personal bathtub that when we had our bathroom redone, this bath came out, and instead of throwing it away, I used it. It's been used now for over 15 years as a growing bed, and we grow all sorts of things in here. So we've got some little beetroot that I'm pulling out now, and some of them are a little bit small, but they're quite nice baby beets. And we've got some nicer ones over here. Here's a big chunky one. Oh, beautiful. Very nice. Oh yeah, that's another beauty there. Very nice. I mean, onions haven't been great this year. Some of these onions have fallen over. We'll pull them very shortly, and we'll get some more things planted into here. I think I'll plant some more beetroot and some more. I think I'll plant some more beetroot into here straight away, and we'll get another harvest of beetroot before the year ends. At the back, I've got a little sucker that I planted out, and that was just a sucker that I took from another plant and just stuck that straight into the ground. But bathtubs like this, because of the size, because of the depth, they make ideal places for growing. What I normally do with these kind of containers, if you've ever seen me fill these kind of containers, if you were just going to try and fill them with compost, they'd take a lot of compost to fill. A bath is probably 1.5 feet deep. These containers are almost 1.5 feet deep. Now that's a huge volume of compost. So rather than that, you turn these containers into composting beds. So you fill it with kitchen scraps, fill it with all your leaf matter, all organic waste that you're gathering up, fill it with that, and then use the top 6 inches or so and just fill that with compost. You've saved a huge amount of money on compost, and then you're finding a way of recycling your kitchen waste. You're finding a way of using all that waste that would have normally gone to landfill, and you're putting it to use here. But you're also turning it into nutritious soil and nutritious feed for your plants. And if you want, at the end of the year, you can shovel that out, spread it somewhere else, and then start the process all over again. And if you don't want to spread it around the garden in other places, you can repeat the process all over again. Just spread a load more kitchen scraps over the top, fill it to the top, cover it with cardboard, and let the worms drag it all down. And by the time it comes to next spring, it'll turn into more nutritious soil and perfect planting material, perfect planting place. So I've got really nice blueberries this year, mashallah. And those blueberries are growing in a container. It's an old builder's container, so that was being used for when my house was being redone. The builders were using that to mix their cement in, and they were about to throw it away. I took it, I used it as a container, and now I've got my blueberries growing in it. So there's loads of resources that you can be really imaginative about and not waste material and reuse material. It's a perfect place for that. Let me show you these little things. So old strawberry punnets, use them for starting seeds off in. I mean, these are a couple of lettuces that are no good, but I use them to start seeds in a lot of the time. These bad boys, absolutely beautiful. I love my cakes, and these are all cake covers, right? You get one of these, and they're mini propagators, so you don't have to buy propagators, and they last a long time. I mean, these are very old. So if you're planting out here, you can use these as a cloche. You can use these to start off seeds. Start your seeds off in strawberry containers and use them as a cloche over the top. And you've got a nice microclimate created for your seeds to germinate. I know this is supposed to be small garden space, and I've dedicated to this little patch of garden, but I'm going to show you some of the other ways of recycling and reusing material in the rest of my garden. Come on. Hello, Brownie. So my wonky arch that I built very recently. Now my wonky arch, I helped a local project trim a willow tree, and I brought the branches back and I've made a wonky arch out of it. It looks pretty awesome, I think. Yeah. If you were going to buy that from a shop, or you're going to pay a designer to do that, you'd be paying hundreds. I got it for free. I know a lot of people don't have greenhouses to grow in. I didn't have a greenhouse not very long ago. And this greenhouse is all built from recycled materials. These doors I rescued from a skip. Someone was throwing them away, very local. I picked them out, brought them here, and they're my greenhouse doors. Absolutely solid hardwood doors, perfect for this sort of thing. Pretty much all the wood in here, apart from the 4 corner posts, all the wood in here is used from my old roof. So when I had my loft conversion done, all the wood that came out of there has been used in here to build this greenhouse. So all of these 2x4s, all of these, all of this material, this is a slate lat that was on the roof, these 2x4s with the rafters on the roof. So you can put pretty much everything that has had a life already, you can put it back into use in the garden. Just find an imaginative way. There's loads of things you can do. This is a very recent addition. So again, look at this. So I'm actually loving this, to be honest with you, right now, because it's providing a nice little bit of shade. It's providing an area for my runner beans to climb over. My bottle gourds are starting to climb over and spread over the top of it. It's going to be awesome once all these spread and they come this way. I mean, the season's a little bit late this year, but we're starting to get growth and we're starting to get a little bit of life happening. Yeah, all of this wood is from recycled materials. I found these posts on Facebook Marketplace. The 2x4s are from a neighbour's roof and a shed that we had taken down next door. So once that got taken down, all the wood came to me, and I've just recycled it and I've turned it into this. And it looks pretty cool. Do you know, it doesn't matter that it's recycled. It'll last easily 10, 15 years. And it'll give me a good life, it'll give me a good amount of time. So you can use and recycle old materials. We've got the bean arch over there. Again, those posts were from that same willow project that I helped with. And we've got those willow posts, we've got some poplar posts over there, and it's a nice bean arch. It's a cool little feature. It's something different to what everyone else is using. Something a little bit more controversial. Use of tyres in gardens. I know it can be a little bit of a controversy around whether they're toxic or not. Now, what I don't do is I don't grow vegetables like root vegetables, and I don't grow vegetables that I'm going to eat straight out of. So like salad leaves, I wouldn't grow those in tyres, and I wouldn't grow potatoes in tyres. But growing fruiting plants, absolutely fine. That's what I think, because what happens with fruiting plants is the plant itself is going to filter out all the toxins before it produces a fruit. I mean, tomatoes, gourds, pumpkins, they're really well known for doing that. So if you grow them in toxic soils or soils with high concentrations of arsenic, one of the things that the plant itself can do is filter out a lot of that toxic heavy metals, leave them in the plant, and the fruit is absolutely fine. You know, there's lots of options for you to use for recycling material. Yeah, let me show you something else. So, see, gardening doesn't have to be expensive unless you're trying to go for a really high-end sort of really posh-looking garden. You can make it functional and do it on a real good budget. And this is my backyard, you know. It's a backyard where we're all enjoying, we're all chilling, we're all having our own little sections. Let me show you these things. These bags that I've got my potatoes and tomatoes and stuff planted in. These grow bags, again, they're recycled, right? They're from a house got raided for growing, you know, a cannabis farm got raided, and I just brought home the remnants, all the waste that was, you know, the police had taken out and they were going to throw away. So it was all going to go to landfill, or it was all going to get burnt. Now it's in my garden and it's producing me, you know, it's giving me space to grow. You've seen me build my chicken hut. Yeah, let's go and have a look at the chicken hut quickly. Here's another little contraption I've made, you know, a little mobile chicken run for the little chicks to chill out in. And it's a nice little area because, let's move that to that side and give them a little bit of shade. There you go. But yeah, again, it's all recycled material. So it's all pallet wood, wire that I've salvaged out of skips. It's all recycled material. You don't have to go for brand spanking new. You can save. It's a way of recycling stuff that would go to waste otherwise, and not wasting resources. There's no need to waste resources. Into my chicken run. The famous chicken coop itself, made out of a wardrobe that I found at the side of the road. Do you know, it's a wooden, solid wooden wardrobe that was going to be thrown away. It was going to be burnt, whatever was going to happen to it, probably fly tipped. But it's here, it's turned into a chicken coop. My chickens are living in it. Oh, she's about to lay an egg. Hello, sorry to disturb you. I mean, again, it's material that would have gone and been thrown away, but it's in here and it's serving another life. Yeah, so there's loads and loads of things that you can be doing, loads of ways to recycle and reuse and repurpose. Things don't have to be this consumer sort of society, this consumer sort of culture where we use something and throw it away as soon as we're done with it. We can put it to some more use. It's not being put to a great use at the moment apart from storing wood, but I've got a bench made out of pallets. You know, it's a nice little bench, really cool. I've got my log stores that are made out of old pallets, so recycled pallets. My neighbour needed to get rid of them after he's having some building work done. In the same fashion, you make your compost bins out of pallets. I've got an IBC tote that serves as my worm bin. The list is endless. The amount of stuff that you don't need to throw away, you can pick up, bring and give it a new life. Let's not fall into this sort of consumerism culture. I see a lot of people, you know, buying brand spanking new beds and stuff like that, you know, especially those steel beds. They look really nice, they look really useful. You can achieve the same result with a bath. So one of the things that I've seen is someone on the local street, they've had a load of decking pulled up. Now I'm going to see if I can get that decking. If I can get those decking boards, then I'll clad all this and it'll be a nice, swanky, posh looking garden. Because, you know, yeah, it looked pretty cool, I think. Yeah. So there's loads of ways of recycling things that other people are throwing away, things that you're throwing away yourselves, right the way from containers to grow in, right away from big structures. So use your imagination, make your garden a place of recycling, repurposing and reusing things. Let's get away from that disposable culture. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for regular updates. If you want to support our channel, you could always become a patron. I'm going to leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.